Butch, how are you? Congratulations. Thank you. While we get settled here, a reminder that as a courtesy to your fellow media members, as well as the coaches and student athletes, please silence your cell phones. And when we get to the question and answer period, please provide your name and affiliation. After each time you ask a question, we'll have one each time, one question. And please, no video from your cell phones here in this room. Starting off with a statement from Coach Thompson. Congratulations.
Thank you. Exciting to get a win for us here in Omaha for our program. These three men were sitting next to me were major contributors in the ball game for sure. The beginning and the end with the pitching I thought was really good. Trace Bright, I think I gained more respect for him today than ever. Thought he was one hitter away. I don't know if he knows that, but one hitter away of coming out in the third inning. But he weathered the storm. We really were scouting report interested. Can their fastball survive? And really their first two runs come off of a breaking balls that I can't see from the side, but maybe grabbed a little more plate, or not our best breaking balls, how they got their first two runs. And one just barely hit the chalk down the third baseline, and he held it together and come back out with his fastball in the third inning and got us all the way through the fifth. Left a runner at third to finish his outing. Sheehan gave us an inning. I'm a pitching guy, so I always think how important that is. And then with two outs in the seventh, and they're at their three-hole, you know, my job is to get Berkey in the game. Got out of that, and then we were able to get to 4, 5, and 6 as he needed to be pitching against them there in the eighth, and then we were able to get through the ninth inning there. And then my favorite offensive inning was the fifth inning. I think Brody got a ground ball to the sixth hole. We finally just got to get to a hit-and-run approach, scrapping our at-bats. We had 5 3-2 counts that we lost them. I know we had an 8-pitch at bat by Rambush to start off the game, and then just the full counts we couldn't win. And then I'm just tired of watching us sit there having at bat, so we did some goofy stuff. We bunted the ball too hard for the first out. We did a first and third, and we delayed too much from leaving at third. And I thought it made me happy. It was goofy baseball, but we scored 4 runs the very next inning because it just seems like we got each other's attention. I was watching Oklahoma last night, and they make the first and the third out at third base, and everybody's throwing trash at them, and I'm like, they're right where they need to be. They're playing, they're attacking, and they're going for it. And I thought that helped us work into creating the sixth inning. And then Cole Foster had a big hit for us and has been struggling just health-wise to stay on the field, and was a big hit for us. But thankful to get a win and look forward to competing again tomorrow.
Okay, we'll start off with questions for the student athletes. If you have a question, raise your hand and we'll get a mic to you. Start here with Aaron and then we'll get.
Thank you. Aaron Fitt, D1 Baseball. Trace, what do you think were the key adjustments that you were able to make, and after that, second, third inning, to kind of find your groove and get deep into the ball game?
Location, that was the biggest thing. They were aggressive, so being able to flip it off speed in there, behind in the count, was huge for me. We knew that they were aggressive going in, but they jumped on some first pitches and made me pay for it. But I think I got my command later in the first a little bit, and then better in the third more so. So that was the biggest thing for me.
Okay.
So far this postseason, you guys
name
have
affiliation, please.
Sorry, that's my fault. Andrew Stefaniak, AuburnDaily.com, and you all have sent 3 Pac-12 teams home this postseason throughout the regional, super regional, and here in Omaha. How does that feel to represent your conference this well and to play baseball against one of the top conferences and beat them?
Why don't you start, Kaysen?
Anytime we can play good teams, we want to represent the SEC well. Obviously, all Pac-12 teams we played, I respect them. They have really good players, but being from the Southeastern Conference, having 4 Western Division teams in here, we just want to play good baseball and try to represent our conference well. And obviously it feels good to win against such great teams like Stanford and Oregon State and UCLA. All have great programs, all have great players. We're just trying to represent the conference well.
Okay, here in the back. Mark.
Mitch Kutcher, CWS 247. Blake and Trace, what kind of effect has Tim Hudson had on the pitching staff?
I mean, he's been awesome. He actually helped me pick up my cutter, and he's work. I mean, he'll work with anybody if you ask him. He's always looking to help. And you know, after every inning, I come in the dugout and I'll go over there and talk to him. First thing, I'll be like, he'll ask what's working, you know, what's not working, and then right before I get back out, I'm like, what do you think I should do to these guys? Like, who do I have coming up? How should I pitch these guys? How should I work around them? Are there any places I need to be worried about? And I mean, with a mind like that in the dugout, you've got to take advantage of it. So,
I would say that he's with that much experience. There's a ton of knowledge, and you know, trying to pick his brain all the time at practice. You know, even when you're not pitching, about things, how he sees things. That's big for me. So, I try and get little tidbits of information that may help me that I can apply to my game.
Okay, back here.
Ryan Hennessy, NBC 13 in Birmingham. For Trace, you hear your coach, ups and downs of this game with your backs up against the wall. When you saw Cole make that play, what was that going through your head at that moment?
You know, he's been great all year. Big swing today for us. You know, he was fighting the heat, which was amazing for him to finish that game. All 9 innings was big for him. But, I know that the offense was about to heat up at some point, and I knew that they had our back. And then, Tommy and Berkey coming in after me, I knew that they had the game right where they wanted it. And in their hands, I was happy with them finishing the game.
Okay, here.
Adam Cole, the Opelika Auburn News. A question for Blake. I know Butch had kind of talked about it a little bit earlier in the season, kind of getting you back to top form since that injury during the Tennessee series. You've looked probably as best as you have all year from Supers till now. Just wanted to ask if there was maybe a point recently where you felt like you've gotten to that top form, and just I guess what's been working best for you since the Supers?
Honestly, it's all starting to just click at the right time. Like, I can't really put a finger on what exactly part of my game is getting better. But I know my focus when I come in the game, I'm there first through 9 innings, ready to go. Just the mental aspect that's been locked since postseason plays come around, and then everything's starting to click on the mound. So.
Okay, Jason.
Jason Caldwell, Auburn 247. Cason, just you touched on Cole's swing, but how big is that for an offense to have one of those breakthrough swings in a game like this? Especially the way that y'all guys have been the last couple of games swinging the bat.
It's huge. Like Coach Thompson said, we lost a lot of 3-2 counts. We were battling, and obviously offensively we haven't been where we want to be the last 2 to 3 games. But for Cole to really put a spark in our offense. And, I mean, you could tell just everyone's at bats. We're a little bit more on the attack after Cole's big swing. I hope that can carry momentum into this week, into tomorrow when we compete against whoever we're playing. But that swing meant a lot, and Cole came up in a big moment. And, he's been huge for us all year, but that really put a spark in our offense today.
Okay, we have a question on Zoom right now. Please give your name and affiliation and ask your question.
Yes, Mark Murphy, inside the Auburn Tigers. This is for Trace. What does it mean to you to get the start today, considering you had such a rough outing out in Corvallis, and I guess you got to feel great about the way you pitched?
Yeah, you want to bounce back. That was a tough outing for me, but I endured that whole game. My offense had my back that first game, and, we pulled it out. But you try and learn from it and move on. But I wanted to get us off on the right foot, and I kind of had us behind the 8 ball there for a few innings. But, like Cason said, once the offense got rolling, I knew that we were in a good place with the bullpen set up and how we were with that lead.
Okay, right here.
TomGreenale.com. For any of you guys, I think on the broadcast we all saw that little bird in the dugout. Can you guys tell us, what happened there when you guys first saw it?
They were playing, so I was over there front row seats with the bird. Somehow it managed to find its way in our dugout. Maybe a little rally bird or something, but it seemed to work for us.
Okay, Mike, this will be our last question for the players.
Mike Patterson, Omaha World Herald. Blake, can you just talk about that first batter you faced in the 7th inning and coming in with the bases loaded like that?
When I was coming in, you kind of try to, the bases are loaded, but you kind of have to flush it. Your main focus is that first guy out of the pen. That's what we focus on as a bullpen, and coming in there and being able to command some pitches. I mean, I don't think I had my fastball command all day, but the cutter was working and the changeup was working, and that's what I had to lean on. And I got, I think it was a 3-2 count or something. I mean, I was right on the brink of walking in, but thankfully I got that strikeout and got us off the field.
Okay, guys, thank you. A reminder that the locker room is closed, and George will help you with any other requests you might have. So you're excused. Trace, that was the scrawniest war eagle I've ever seen.
Where am I at? I don't even see these things. I didn't even know there was a bird.
You're busy.
I don't know what I am,
Thank
but
you.
I didn't see a bird.
Thank you. Okay, questions for Butch, and we'll start right back here.
Butch, when you heard your players,
Name and affiliation.
Ryan Hennessy, NBC 13 in Birmingham. When you heard your players say, you were kind of explaining that you had to get creative in the 5th and the 6th. That kind of they went on attack mode. Is that what you need to hear come Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday now?
Yeah, we're just at a stage, that was, I think we traveled a bunch, 5,000 miles, and quick turnaround for us. And I just want us to get our feet back underneath us. But more importantly, I want us to, man, if you leave here, my job is to keep a group of players and coaches to leave with no regrets. Just let it hang out. What are we going to do? Screw something up or make a mistake? And I want them to attack as much as they can. I think Dan Gable, I said it, attack 3 times. He wouldn't say it once. Dan Gable will go attack, attack, attack. And I want them to go out that way. And it's not always going to be perfect, but I just don't want to sit there for 9 innings and us just have at bats. So that's why I'm trying to make a deal out of that. I kind of asked for it. So anything that looks dumb, it's always my fault anyway. So I might as well go ahead and call it out and get them stirred up a little bit. And I do. I think the 5th inning led to a chance in the 6th.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Butch, Brandon Stoltz, Auburn Rivals. How big is it after 2019 getting that win and not going home to a barbecue like you said? And how big is that momentum going to carry over into the next game?
Yeah, I don't know what carries over to the next game, but absolutely our program winning a game here is not just getting here, but winning a game against an amazing team. Dave, I think about Marquist all those years growing up, what an amazing program. Just a chance to compete against them. I've embraced every one of these teams that we've got to play because I respect the game. I care about the game so much. It even gets me in trouble sometimes, but I care about our sport, and I think it's at one of the best places it's ever been. And just an opportunity to get to compete against that program is a box that I get to check personally, but our team is another sense of accomplishment for our program. So it's not just a win. It's important for us as we continue to try to build ours and build a brand of respectability. Sincere respectability with our program. So it is a big deal, and it gives us a chance to compete again. I don't know. Our word today was surrender, and I'm sitting in my hotel last night, and I'm like, all right, y'all telling me only 4 teams out of the last 40 years have lost that first game and won a national championship. Who is it? And then I looked, and I was like, okay, well, Pat Casey did it in 6 and 18, and Tanner did it in 10. How about I call them tonight? Since I'm sitting here. And both of those men got back, and they both gave me paragraphs of taking me through the journey with their team. And I'm like, like I say, man, the man or woman of the team that will never quit, they got a chance. And I just want us to fight, and I want us to attack. And that's all you can ask for. The score will take care of itself. But those men, it was like they were excited to hear from me. And they're like, yeah, this is what we did. This is what we talked about. This became our focus. And I'm just hunting for every inch we can for our program. So thankful for today and excited about tomorrow.
Okay, Mike.
Mike LaPresti, NCAA.com. In the 6th inning, you got one guy who takes a foul off his shin and looks pretty painful, and he stays in there. You've got a guy who, by all accounts, is looking like he feels really lousy and gets a big hit. Can you just talk about the sheer grit that was on display in that inning, and how bad does he feel?
Yeah, he doesn't feel great. Shouldn't he be in here? He got 3 RBIs and 2 hits. He should be in here right now. So you can imagine he's probably getting IVs is what was told, because he should be sitting here at the table visiting with us right now. So he's doing all that he can. Like he barely pulled into second, and he dropped his head, probably the biggest hit of his life, and he's trying to keep his head up. So he's just done an amazing job. I think back to game one now, people really pile on people when you don't swing it offensively. Team looks lethargic when you're not getting hits sometime. But I got little Bello trying to run through the left field wall. He's trying to fight with a fan. He's diving on the line. I got Brody took a bite out of the tarp. I just, from a coaching, I'm always want to be level 2, not like on my couch at level 1. I know they're fighting for us. Sometimes it just doesn't always look as pretty or clean or the execution, because this is what this is all down to. Whenever you have success here, or you're playing somebody that's the best of the best of the best. Every one of these teams had to climb a mountain. Everybody's hot enough. Everybody's good enough. So, but these guys are giving us all they got. I love my team.
Okay, Adam.
Butch, Adam Cole, Opelika Auburn News. I just kind of wanted to ask about you guys. Really roughed up their best pitcher, who's been dominant for them all year, and I know you only got so much time to game plan, but was curious how much of the game planning maybe went into going up against Quinn Matthews, and I guess the success in that frame. Was wondering too if it was a blend of the bats finally breaking through, or you guys maybe having a plan for going up against him.
Yeah, I think we finally just exhaled. It's really neat how the players, their perspective, when Cole hit the ball, that was a big exhale for our offense. But like I say, that 5th inning just started it up, trying to do a little bit. I just think that got us wanting to go a little bit. And we knew we'd see him. We've been watching video of him. I mean, that's their guy. And thankfully we got in there that early. It's hot out there. And I looked up at the board one time. He's at 56 pitches, and he's an amazing pitcher. And then they brought in a lefty there to finish a game. It was 95. It was pretty good, too. So, all in all, we knew if we had any chance of winning today, we were going to have to deal with him. And I thought we did a pretty good job. And, we brought Burkhalter into the 7th there. Come on, Sheehan. We got 2 outs and nobody on. We got a hit that, we just defensive replaced there. And that was the one place at the park today where that ball was traveling, was the left center field. And we took a little flat route, and then you couldn't catch up on it late. We hit a batter, and then another single sharply. So we, like I said, when you're right at that part of that lineup, we had to go ahead and dump our guy in, but we got Burkhalter in there a little bit later. And he had a lead, so. But Matthews is a really good player. We really didn't know what kind of starting pitcher we would get. I think they've moved around a little bit with their 2-hole guys, and we just tried to take the 2 or 3 best guys and started preparing for them. And Matthews is absolutely one that we watched a lot of video and tried to talk about what we have to do against him.
Okay, Jason, this will be our last question for Butch.
Jason, Auburn 247, Butch, you're a pitching guy at heart. What's it mean for you to see an outing like that, not only from Trace, but to have a pitching outing like that in that big of a moment?
Yeah, just I looked at it. We struck out 13 the other night. We struck out 16 batters today. I had no idea. And Trace, they hit him. He made a couple of breaking balls, but he steadied himself, and he went to another level in the 3rd. That's a developmental piece where I'm proud of him. But, at the end of the day, he was going to make Stanford beat him, and he finally settled in the ball game. He had 8 strikeouts and no walks. Berkey had 5 strikeouts and no walks, and he got hit in the butt with a line drive there, but he's only walked 7 guys. He does have the ability, whatever you think skill level is of Burkhalter, he can at least shove it in the strike zone. And when you can do that, the tenets of the baseball game usually work out. So we get out of there with 1 walk and I think 1 hit batter against a really good offensive club, and that gave us a chance. It's just like when I was bragging on the tipping my hat the best I could to Ole Miss the other night. There was just no walks. They just did not help our offense any. We got a little more help today, and then we had a couple of big hits, Foster and really they handled, I thought they pitched Sonny tremendous. They would go up in the zone, off the plate. He had a really good at bat, but it was a fly ball to right. There wasn't much happening to right today. And Pierce and Foster had a couple of big hits for us today.
Butch, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You bet.